Hey YouTube, how is it going today? Well, I haven't done a TSNP video in several days, so I want to go over their recent price action because this stock continues to defy gravity. Plus, they've also came out with some pretty interesting news, so I want to go over that. And then, as always, I have some other interesting tradable charts, just in case there's another stock out there that you want to make money on besides TSNP. So make sure you stick around for that as well. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to invest and trade in typically lower price stocks and talk about all other things finance related as well. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before investing in any of these stocks. All right, well, first I'm going to get into the news that came out today, and this news article says that Tesoro Enterprises, which will soon be named Humbl Incorporated, announced today the product launch of its block exchange trade index lineup in over 100 countries across North America, Latin America, Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and the Caribbean. The block ETX lines were created by Humbl Financial to give retail investors access to one-click software services on the new digital asset trading market. The block ETX tracked three different vertical themes: index, active, and thematic strategies, allowing customers simplified portfolio exposure to new blockchain trading markets. In the article, Calvin Waite, the chief market strategist at Humbl Financial, said, "If you look at investing in mutual funds and ETFs over the last century, multi-asset baskets have traditionally been an easy way for customers to buy and hold over the long term. And block ETXs deliver new technologies in a proven format for the blockchain trading markets and other asset classes over time." Brian Foote, the CEO of Humbl, said, "Our long-term mission at Humbl is to develop a Web3 platform that will allow you to invest, trade, track, and pay in more synthetic ways on the blockchain. And the block ETXs are a critical step in that journey and will expand across multiple asset types in the coming year." Wow, so if this technology comes to fruition, this sounds like really cool. All right, we are over here to the charts. This is my TC2000 trading platform, and this is Tesoro Enterprises daily chart. The ticker symbol is TSNP, and as we can see, it is having a pretty decent day so far. It is up about 13.5% at the moment. This is an intraday chart, so it's going to move around just a little bit, but we can see it had the high of the day rejected right at the previous high, and this is typical. Usually it might take a day or two or three to get above a all-time high when it approaches it, because there are a group of people that end up buying on these couple of days, and then they ride it down, and then they are thinking that if it gets anywhere close to that price again, they are going to get out break even. But there wasn't a ton of volume on those days, so I can't imagine there'd be a whole lot of selling pressure there. It looks like the stock is poised to make a new high. It could find some more resistance just because, it's had such a huge run. I mean, there could be people that are still holding from way down here that are just thinking, you know what? It is time to ring the register because this gain has been absolutely massive. But this stock chart pattern that it's making right now still looks extremely bullish. There's absolutely no reason to get worried about owning this stock at the moment, not until it starts breaking some of these moving averages and breaking some technical support areas, and it's definitely not doing that right now. Let's go intraday and look at the 15-minute chart real quick and break down these last couple of days. But if we go to the 15-minute chart, one thing I really love about Tesoro Enterprises is because it just makes such beautiful patterns on the intraday level. It really holds support levels really well. You can draw some pretty clean trend lines on this thing that are very tradable if you're into day trading these cheap stocks, which I know a lot of people are. And if you call it right, you can definitely make some good money on these swings because the stock is so cheap, you can really apply a lot of leverage to it. But we can see that it found support at the 31 to 33 cent range and then blasted through that trend line, which is kind of a bullish triangle formation right here, maybe a little bit of a bullish flag. and it exploded through it. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can see it held the 8-period exponential moving average and then had another explosion up on pretty good volume. And it is making another intraday bullish pennant or bullish flag. So, I mean, there's no reason to think why this thing couldn't break higher, and the odds favor that it probably should break higher by the looks of this pattern. So this is a very, very healthy looking stock chart at the moment. Let's go back to the daily chart one more time. But let me get this stuff out of here real quick. But just breaking down the overall health of this pattern again, I mean, we can see over these last few trading days, it did come down and bust through that 8-period exponential moving average. But in 2 of those 3 days, it did close right back above it. So that is a very strong, healthy pattern. Couple days ago, when it did close below that 8-period exponential moving average, the following day it gapped right back above it and held it, and now it is doing that slingshot pattern up. So in my opinion, TSNP probably should be busting out to a new all-time high within a few days or so. And the only thing that would make me worrisome of this stock is if it did roll over, bust through these 2 moving averages, and then take out this support area right around 31 cents, between 31 and 33 cents that we saw on the intraday level. But there's no indication that it's going to do that. That would just be my uncle point if I was in this stock right now and I was looking at a technical area where I would want to get out. But TSNP still looking super strong. Let's get into some other trading opportunities right now. All right, well, the first one I want to show you guys is Trevena Incorporated, ticker symbol TRVN. As we can see in the current price action, it looks like TRVN is starting to make a little bit of a rounding bottom and is busted above the 50-period simple moving average, and the 200-period simple moving average is starting to rise up pretty close to the current price action. But if we zoom in just a little bit closer, we can see that yesterday when it was starting to bust above the recent resistance area, there was a lot of buying that came into the stock. So this turnaround is starting to look really healthy, getting a little bit of pullback today, not very much, and the volume is minuscule. So that is another bullish sign. All the lows are starting to rise up, and it is starting to make a little bit of that bullish triangle formation. So I would expect more pressure. Let me back out just a little bit more because I think the resistance area is just a little bit higher. There's actually multiple resistance areas, but it is starting to round out the right side of that rounding bottom and potentially be heading up through this resistance area. So I think if it can bust through this resistance area right around $253 should be a pretty easy target, and new all-time highs really aren't that far away. So TRVN is looking really bullish at the moment. Let's go intraday and take a closer look at the current day's action, or the current action for the last few days. But you can see these lows a little better on this 15-minute chart because they are starting to rise and put pressure on this resistance area. So I think TRVN is coiling up for a move higher, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we're back to recent, I call this 52-week highs. I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it busts to a new 52-week high anytime soon, because some of these biotechnology stocks, when they get going, they really move. So definitely put TRVN on your watch list, and I think if it can bust above this resistance area and hold, we could be off to the races on this one. But let's get to the next chart. All right, the next one I want to get into is CDEV, Continental Resource, or Centennial Resource Development Incorporated. Sorry about that one. English is my second language. Pig Latin's my first one. But anyway, CDEV is making a very bullish breakout at the moment. It is breaking through this recent consolidation. It found support at the 21-period simple moving average, the 21 exponential moving average, the 21-day exponential moving average, which is this purple line, and it is having that slingshot move up. If we back the chart out a little bit, we can see all of the volume, all these big green bars that have been pouring into this stock ever since the pandemic lows. So, and I've noticed this in a lot of the penny oil and gas stocks. This one is also in the oil and gas sector. There's been a lot of buying coming into this sector. So there's a lot of bullish looking chart patterns in these very low priced oil and gas penny stocks. They've been just so oversold for years and years and years. A lot of them that are in the penny stock range have had huge declines, and it looks like they are finally starting to turn around, and that's good news if you want to be invested in this sector for the long term, because it looks like it is just in the very beginning stages of a potential decent bull run in some of these oil and gas stocks. But we go to the 15-minute chart, we can see this current price action just a little bit better. Let's take a look at this consolidation. If we look at this consolidation and this recent breakout, we had this nice fake out right here. I love it when they have a fake out to the upside and then it gets back into that consolidation and then grinds higher. Usually that second breakout works better than that first one, because on that first breakout you'll tend to shake out a lot of the weak hands, because once it reverses, you know, a lot of those players that come in to play the breakout, once it breaks back down into the consolidation, they sell out. So once you shake those weak hands out of there, usually the second breakout has a little bit better chances of sustaining an uptrend. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that when it did break out above this consolidation, it found support at that 8-period exponential moving average and had the nice slingshot move up. So CDEV looks very healthy at the moment. It looks like it is breaking out of this recent consolidation that it made at the previous highs. So this is not only is it a healthy looking consolidation, but it was right at the old previous highs and it's breaking out already. Even though it is pulling back intraday, it is still up around 6%. And if it can hold this consolidation, there's no reason to think why it couldn't have another decent move up like it had before this consolidation. But let's get into the last one. All right, well, the last one I want to show you is VBIV, VBI Vaccines Incorporated. We can see that this one is coming out of a nice rounded bottom, had that fake out to the downside, and then immediately got back up into the consolidation and jumped right back above that 200-period simple moving average, that yellow line on the chart. It has held it once, twice, now 3 times, and it has broken above this recent resistance area. Today it is pulling back. It's down about 8.5% at the moment. It is still above this resistance area, and it's still above that 8-period exponential moving average. So as long as it can stay above that, I would imagine this stock is probably going to continue moving to the upside. So today is probably a really good buying opportunity, because your stop loss is going to be just below this 200-period simple moving average. So you're going to risk under just a little bit under $3, and that's really not a bad risk reward, because this stock certainly has the potential to get close to the previous highs. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if it can get over $6 soon, because these biotech stocks, they can really get moving when they get going in the right direction. Of course, they can get moving the other way as well. So it's a double-edged sword. You got to be a little careful with these. But I think a $6 is not a bad target for this stock. So you're risking under 3. So you're risking about 50 cents at the moment for a potential upside of about I call it 250 or so. So that's a pretty decent risk to reward. Let's go intraday really quick and take one peek at the at this little consolidation that it's making. You can see the nice lows that are starting to rise up. It has exploded through this resistance area, and as you can see, it came right back down and touched that resistance area perfectly, bounced up just a little bit. So you're not out of the woods just yet. But this is how you like to buy them. If they can pull back to that support area and then jump back above that 8-period exponential moving average and start to climb higher, that's usually my go signal. So VBIV, in my opinion, is a very nice looking chart at the moment. It looks like it is certainly poised to go higher. Hopefully it can hold this support area and to then jump back over that 8-period exponential moving average on the intraday chart. But definitely VBIV worth keeping an eye on. All right, guys, well, that's all I have for this one. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, please don't hesitate to leave them down there in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future trading opportunities. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.